Groupon gets its groove back. Joining me now is John Marino, editor of Reuters PE Hub. And this is some good news that we haven't had for a while with Groupon. Groupon payments they've just announced.
It's been a while, and it's really, really good news. They're kind of moving into that same space that Square is, which is the really hot private startup that just raised a big round at a $3 billion valuation.
Sure.
If they get into the mobile space, it's going to be big news for them because obviously in the daily deal space, they haven't had the success that they'd hoped for.
Right. So this is, their stock is actually up about 6.5% today. They were up as high as 10%. All right, let's move on to RIM, who hasn't had much good news really at all. But they have this new deal with Microsoft that's basically going to allow them to have more storage, more movability between applications. But I don't know, does it really matter? Is it really going to make a difference for RIM?
It's not going to make a big dent in share price, but however, this is significant because Microsoft, ever since the kind of flop that has come with Windows 8 through Nokia, they've been in a position of really needing to define themselves in the smartphone space. This could bring them one step closer to doing a deal to buy either part or all of the IP that RIM runs, which is so coveted.
Okay, let's move on to Microsoft. They've raised the dividend 15%, but this is the lowest that they've raised it in 3 years.
Yeah, they obviously do also have a lot of cash on hand. That's why they're one of the very few potential partners out there that could be buying Research in Motion.
Okay. Apple, now over in the EU, they were going to be in deals with publishing companies there that they were in, but this is a big deal for Amazon because they can no longer price fix with these publishing companies, which gives Amazon more freedom to discount ebooks.
Right. No, it's a big deal for Apple. I mean, obviously, it's not always going to be good news for them. They just crossed the $700 per share threshold, in part on their big iPhone 5 news. However, it's going to be also difficult to determine what impact this could have on Amazon. If they're selling that much more ebooks at that much more of a discounted rate, it could also have a top-line impact.
Okay. Moving on to Yahoo now. Marissa Mayer, this is a great move for her because she's actually untangling Yahoo from Alibaba finally, and the money that they're getting of their half of their 40% stake is going back to shareholders, or most of it anyway.
The overwhelming majority of it, it's a multi-billion-dollar deal for Yahoo. They're getting out of their investment with Alibaba, which had obviously gone awry long before Marissa Mayer came in from Google to be the CEO. They've still got 50% of the stake to put to use, so shareholders can probably expect to get more cash back.
All right, let's talk about now today's big warning du jour, which is 3M. On the heels of FedEx giving its big warning about the state of the economy, they're now, you take a huge industrial conglomerate like 3M, I can speak today, yes. They're now saying that the economic environment has changed since the company adopted its long-term 7 to 8% revenue growth target. That's now a stretch target. So bad news coming out of 3M.
Bad news coming out of them. We have gotten, obviously, recently some good news from home builders, maybe some positive signs trailing in the economy. Looking forward, they were a little bit more skittish. It isn't really clear whether or not they had envisioned QE3 coming on. Let's hope that they didn't and that they maybe were surprised.
Well, that's the good point. Okay, let's move back and look at the market monitor here, see what the market's doing. And we've got some greenhouses where we're basically flat today. A little bit more movement on Brent crude as Saudi Arabia kind of pumps out more oil, and the price is down at about 109. That was down from about 114 as of Friday. All right, Mr. PE guy, let's talk Blackstone, because Blackstone Group is acquiring the security company Vivint.
Yeah, big deal for them. They're actually making a buy partially from Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has been a big investor in Vivint over the years. They are kind of a two-part business. The biggest part of their business is their home security business. Home security has obviously been hot. Tyco made a big deal to build out its ADT before it announced earlier this week that it's going to spin that off as part of a three-way breakup. I had a chance to speak with CEO Todd Peterson, who said that their solar play is particularly important because they're going to be helping their new customers finance putting flat panels on top of their homes.
I have flat panels on top of my homes.
There you go.
My home, singular, sorry, not multiple homes. All right, before we go, let's talk about the Forbes 400, the good folks over at Forbes releasing their 400 list today. Bill Gates, #1, but we got the social media guys actually dropping off the list.
Wash out.
Yeah. As Groupon's Eric Lefkowski, Zynga's Mark Pincus, Facebook VC guy Jim Breyer, and the single biggest loser of all. He's still on the list, but we've got to go to the Zuckulator. Where are we? There we go. Down $8 billion, net worth at $11 billion. He is the singlest dollar loser. I think he's hovering at around number 36 or so on the list. But Mark Zuckerberg is the single biggest dollar loser. But we're still not crying too many tears for him.
No, he's doing pretty well. Henry Kravis is also one of the big PE names on the list. He's probably a lot lower than Mark at $4 billion now. He used to be number 49, down to 92.
Wow, all right, so he's dropped almost more than double from where he was. Poor Henry.
No Kravis later.
All right, John Marino, thanks so much. Remember, follow us on Twitter at Reuters Insider and check out our YouTube channel. That is Reuters.com/ReutersTV. I'm Lisa Bernhard. This is Reuters.